I'm joined today by Olivia Stefanino. Olivia is an author, she's a speaker, she's a coach, and she's creator of The Money Types. And most important of all to me, she's my friend and she's my business colleague. Welcome, Olivia. Would you like to introduce yourself?
You've just done the most fantastic introduction, and the best bit of all is being your friend. So I'm going to take that one as the thumbs up. And I'm really excited today because we're going to be talking about the money types, and they're my little 6 friends as well, and they're all sitting behind me. And I know you've got some questions to throw at me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of it, really.
Thank you. So I'm going to jump straight in with the questions, and these are questions that we get directly from people who are in touch with us. They want to become a VA. Most of them are currently in a job, which is full-time or part-time. It's employed. They've probably got a pension. They might have a company car. So it feels relatively secure to them. On the other side of it, they're possibly doing quite a large commute to work every day. They might have children and they're not being able to spend time with the kids. So they're just literally kissing them goodnight when they get back home at 7 o'clock at night. So they're looking for a balance. They feel like they're in a secure job at the moment. And they desperately want to take the leap. They can see that becoming a VA is, you know, a great thing to do. They can see other people doing it, but they really are scared stiff. What advice could you give?
That's a great question, and I like the fact that people are thinking twice about it, because it's always good to adopt the carpet cutter's maxim, which is to measure twice and cut once. So better to do that than to kind of just take the leap and go, oops, why did I do that? And I think it all comes down to quality of life, doesn't it? So it's really important to think, why am I doing what I'm doing? And it's very easy to get kind of caught up in the pursuit of money, and how much is security, you know, how much does security look like? So it's always a good idea, I think, to know what your number is, so that, you know, at what point do I have the choice that I can make that leap? And looking at it from the money types points of view, we have, you know, the pharaoh who actually wants to be the person that's kind of in control of how their family life is, and for them, they're going to want to make sure that there is enough money and that they're not going to lose the trappings, if you like, of what they've already built up. And I think for them, the ideal thing to do would be to put some money aside, and to make sure that you've got enough money that you can keep going while you're building your business up. And that's actually good advice for anybody, isn't it? So rather than just taking the leap off the cliff edge, is to put some money aside, or to build up a kind of a war chest, or an opportunity fund, as we prefer to call it, so that you know that you can keep your lifestyle going without having that panic of, oh, what am I going to do to pay the bills? And often we can start building that war chest up by trimming down some of the things that we end up spending on because we're unhappy in the job that we're doing. So very often I see in my coaching practice people spending a lot of money because they're making a lot of money, and they're spending it as compensation for the thing that they hate doing in the first place. So if you're having to do that to try and compensate, retail therapy, if you like, then I think there's a lot that you can do to think, I don't actually need half of these clothes that I'm buying, or all the shoes, or all the handbags, or the new cars, or this, that, and the other. What am I doing to compensate myself for the unhappiness that I've got in the job, and how much can I trim away? And therefore your outgoings probably would be much less at that point. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because I want to talk about the other money types as well. So the pharaoh, as I said, really wants to kind of be in control of their own land, their own sovereignty, really. The magician is the one who is the entrepreneur, the visionary, the opportunity spotter. They're probably the ones that are champing at the bit, going, oh, I really want to go and do this new exciting project. Of setting up their own business, and they are the natural entrepreneurs. But it's good for them too to think, I just want to have some money behind me, because you will need some money just to, you know, to go networking, to have some promotional materials put together. And it's easier and more fun, frankly. I've done it the other way, but it's more fun when you've got a little bit of money behind you, because then you can afford to really go for it and to have fun with it. And when you have fun with it, other people are more attracted to wanting to work with you anyway. There's nothing less sort of attractive, kind of almost on an energetic level, if you've got people who are looking desperate, or who, you know, desperately need the cash and see you as a walking £10 note, as opposed to somebody that they'd like to be working with. So for magicians, it's just about also making sure that you've got enough money to be able to back your ideas and to go for it. The jokers, they're the ones who are the natural people to kind of go out there to network. They love connecting people and ideas. They love jumping into something new. But again, it would be a good idea just to make sure that you've got something in reserve that you can call upon. And they're the ones who are probably going to see that there's sort of a whole new lifestyle beckoning. And they're the ones who are really going to want to have more time with their family, with their friends, and get that it's about, you know, money buys you the life that you want, rather than having to just keep going to work, because that's what everybody does. The joker doesn't want to do that any more than they have to. So we move on to the angels, and the angels want to help everyone else. So they're going to love going down the VA route, because they love supporting other people with their projects. And the trick for the angel as well is to make sure that they have enough money set aside. I keep coming back to the same thing, don't I? Is to make sure there's enough money set aside so that they can look after their family as well, because they will feel horrible if they drag their family into there not being enough money. So it's just about making sure that there are, you know, there's just something sort of in the coffers for those times as you're building it up. The angels are natural VAs, as are magicians, really, because they build the business and go for it. We then move on to the architects. The architects are the people who love that system and process. Again, they make good VAs for different reasons, because they love taking other people, kind of the mad magicians, the mad inventors, and actually streamlining everything and making it, I see you nodding there, making it easy for those people to go out there and do whatever it is they're doing, changing the world. And the architects would not dream of making the leap without making sure that everything is in place first. They're the ones who probably have been systematically putting some money away, squirreling it away for, you know, for a rainy day or for a pension. So they're already in that habit of living within their means. And then you end up with the prisoner. And the prisoner is the one who can feel a bit stuck and a bit, whatever I do isn't going to make any difference. But the light side of the prisoner is that that's the liberator. So you can get yourself out of a job that you hate and move into something that you love doing by backing yourself, and that will take some money. So I think my general, as you probably worked this out now, my general thread here really would be to make sure that you have a little bit of money set aside. The smart thinking is probably somewhere between 3 to 6 months income that you would have had anyway, so that then you can focus on paying yourself while you build this business, rather than scratching your head thinking, what do I do to pay the bills? Because that will sap your creativity faster than anything. So does that answer your question? What views have you got, Sarah? Because you've had lots of experience with this as well. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, my take is we see a lot of magicians coming through who, you know, they'll ring up, they'll have a chat with me, they'll get really excited and they'll go, yes, love it, why not? And they'll, you know, they'll kind of go for it quite quickly. There are also a lot of prisoners who, you know, who are kind of, I suppose they've been on our email list for a long time, you know, I know they want to do it. I've probably spoken to most of them, and I just want to say, you know, come on, we can do this. We'll do it together. I'll help you. But I do understand the, you know, the mindset and that it's not an easy, you know, it's not an easy leap to take for them. So yeah, we have, and we have all of the other money types as well. A huge amount of angels in there. Who, as you say, just love helping people. They're just perfect VAs because they, you know, they just love that sort of role. And yeah, and some of the others as well. Obviously, architect plays quite a high, probably more secondary, actually, a more secondary money type. But obviously, it's in there. The, you know, that sort of organisation, getting things lined up and done and sorted and thought through. So yeah, so we do get a real mixture. But I think probably I would say magician, architect, magician, angel mix are probably, if I had to guess, the main types who actually, you know, come through and do our program and do really well.
That's really interesting. And I think it helps if you know what your money type is and your combination, then you can see how to kind of use your own skills. And because, you know, whatever we're good at, we tend to be best at, don't we? So if we know what our skills are, our natural gifts are, then we can work out how to set the business up. Because I know you've got a fantastic system for setting that business up, but I'm sure that we're all bringing a little part of ourselves to it as well, which is what kind of makes it unique and actually makes it fun as well. If you've got the system, that you can then follow the system to the letter, but also bring your own personality to it and your own bits that you really enjoy, then you'll attract people who are kind of like you or who need your services. services, which makes it the interesting part. So I'm going to say, actually, that if anybody wants to find out what their score is, then go to my website. I'm going to do my publicity here and say oliviastefanino.com. You can go and find out what your money type is. That will be your primary one. If you want to find the whole combination, then go to the Vault Cafe on my site. And you could just join that. It's completely free. I will not be bombarding you with a whole lot of salesy stuff. I hate it myself. Why would I possibly do that to anybody else? It's completely free, but you get the opportunity there to find out your combination money type score, and there's lots of really useful information on there as well. I know that because I wrote it myself. So it's good stuff. And you also get to find out about your shadow as well, and how your shadow plays out. Because that can be the thing that sabotages you. So it's really interesting for me, given the topic that we're talking about, is, you know, are people sometimes having a wobble because they haven't got enough money set aside, or is it something else? Is it a shadow playing out that says you're not good enough, or you haven't quite got enough set aside, or, you know, you won't be able to make this work, or what happens if you get bored? So all the wobbly bits are actually often to do with our shadow playing out and sabotaging us from making the leap. And the other thing I'd like to add on that is often it's about the people that are around you as well. Perhaps we can have another session, Sarah, when we talk about how relationships work out with money types, because it depends on the people around you. If they haven't actually set their own businesses up before either, then they could be very nervous because they just don't know how it works and they can't imagine doing it themselves, and they project all of their own fears onto you, and then you end up starting to question yourself. So I think that would make a really fascinating topic if you're up for talking about that at another time, Sarah.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Olivia. I just want to pick up finally on one thing you said there, which really kind of resonated with me, and that was that if you're having fun and enjoying what you're doing, then you're going to attract people who want to work with you. And, you know, you were asking me before about my experience, and that is absolutely true of, you know, of my experience. You know, if you're having a bad week, a bad day, you go to a networking meeting, you know, people can tell. And what we do in our program is we really encourage our members to only do stuff that they love. So, you know, if they're thinking, oh, I should offer, I don't know, bookkeeping, but actually I really can't stand numbers, I'm saying don't do it. Only do the stuff that you absolutely love, that you thrive at, that you really enjoy doing. And, you know, carve out your own business. And you were talking before about, you know, kind of make it your own, and it becomes a business that is carved for each individual member. They carve out their dream business, if you like, their dream. How would you spend a dream day? And that's what you're going to aim for. You're not going to do any services that you don't fancy. You're not going to work with clients that you don't want to work with. You don't have to work with industries that don't interest you. You don't have to work the hours that you don't want to work. You don't have to do face-to-face if you don't want to face-to-face, or you might want to. It's your choice. So you carve out this business. So it is very personal to each individual member, and I think that's kind of really an important point, is that you know, you make it what you want, you carve it out, you have the vision, and then you build it with our help.
I actually hadn't realized that there was so much freedom around it, because that's going to really appeal to the magician, because the magician isn't going to want to do what everybody else does. They want to have that uniqueness and bring that to it. And even the pharaoh as well is going to want to feel that, you know, it's my domain, it's not just what everybody else is doing. And I think the architects will feel the comfort of knowing that there is a plan that's been thought out, something that they can follow and bring some fun into it. Because we're never pure architect or pure pharaoh or pure magician. We have that combination, and having the flexibility to actually create the life that you want, I think is just amazing. So you get to choose who you work with and the work you do. Why wouldn't you want to do that? And I think it's fascinating that, you know, you'll find that there are a lot of people who've got perhaps a high joker that like to go more into the social media side of things, helping their clients to get out there and do the networking. And when you have angels, they like that kind of variety of doing whatever it takes to help that person that they're working with get out there and do their thing, because that's where they get their satisfaction from. And angels might need to make sure that they get paid well as well, because angels can often end up getting a little bit stuck in, oh, I'll do it for free because that's what people want. So angels, please remember to choose your clients carefully so there is a mutual win-win and respect there. applies to everybody, but angels need to be particularly careful of their boundaries. And magicians, of course, was want to have that opportunity to create something new, and to, they've got that ability to see how a business could be for their clients as well as for themselves, and to work with people. It's about collaboration. So I think what you've got is the perfect package. That means that somebody else has done the hard work and the thinking for you, but you can actually take it and make it your own. Wow, that's just incredible. I thought it was more generic than that, actually. So the ability to have more freedom and bring yourself to it is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Why doesn't everybody do it straight away?
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. It's
my pleasure.
Advice is fantastic as always, and we will get back together to do the next one on relationships.
I'll look forward to that. Thanks a lot, Sarah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.